Hello. Today we're talking about a different video game. It's not Halo today, we're talking about Ascendant, which is a work in progress, a kind of like arena extraction shooter is the best way that I would describe it, as you don't have one life, you can respawn in this. So there is an arena element to it, which I actually like, but we'll get more into that later. So the developers of Ascendant hit me up. They did like a small content creator, marketing, scouting, push thing, where a few of us got some emails. We got asked if we wanted to try the game, give some feedback, find some bugs, play together, and if we wanted to, either live stream or make videos on it. And I've opted here to make a video. I played live with some of the devs and other content creators, and I unfortunately forgot to record my voice, which is great. So here we are doing a live commentary over the top of the gameplay. So the game is an extraction shooter. Those are the wave at the moment. It's what every single publisher or investor is pushing in the scene. As you've probably heard about me talk before, as somebody inside the industry, having a game studio, working on my game Cross-Planet, I've been asked to do this kind of thing before as well. I'm usually not a fan of them. However, I actually really enjoyed the 1 hour and 30 minutes of this game that I played. I think that mainly is because of the respawn element. It allowed me to play the game a lot more fast-paced, take more risks, and not be too worried about having such a huge impact, such as, the game ending for me, because you only have one life. In this, I think you spawn with 3 and you can pick up lives on the map until you reach 5, might be the limit. And respawning 5 times is pretty good. I mean, in some arena shooter, normal arena shooter games, if you do very well in a game, you might only respawn 5 times anyway, so it's pretty good. Games were lasting anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes, and I think there was a good balance of action against other teams, as well as looting against the NPCs. So you start off the game, and you will do the classic loot against the NPCs, so you kill robots, drones, these weird slug-looking creatures that are moving around the map, and from them you'll pick up ammunition, you'll pick up energy, you might pick up some grenades, boosts, stuff like that. That's how you obtain the loot, put it into your inventory, and get better shields for your player, stuff like that, in order to gear yourself up for fights against real players. It's teams of 3, and obviously you can win via just slaying out the opponents. If you kill the enemy teams until they have no lives remaining, then they're eliminated from the game. Or you can go the objective route and you can capture what is called the resource. From what I remember, these spawn in 3 locations on the map. I think it's also different locations each game you play. And there's a little notification on the top left of your screen saying the progress of the resource collection as well. Now, I might use some wrong terminology here, so apologies for the devs, but it should still make sense. In order to sort of initiate a capture of a resource, you must first use energy to fix it, repair it, and then you must defend it for a certain amount of time. And once you are defending it, everyone on the map is notified that one team is defending it or securing it, whichever word you want to use. This could be simplified into, just imagine a Call of Duty domination style, except you've got to secure the zones beforehand and then protect them, and you can only access them if you have a certain amount of points, which is the energy. Now, I'm not going to lie, at first, my initial feedback would have been there is way too much going on at once, and for a new player, I do still think that's the case. However, after your first couple of hours on the game, you do start to understand how it's played, some strategies that you might use, and just understand overall what words mean, where things are located, stuff like that. So I think once you get to grips with it, it's very entertaining, and I will want to play this again. My only downside really, besides the graphics are obviously very primitive right now, but this is how a lot of games start. You start off with very block out levels, and then you improve on the graphics at a later date. Just if the gameplay isn't fun but the graphics are great, doesn't mean your video game is going to succeed. Look at the rise of games such as BattleBit. Looks like Lego blocks, but performs like a hidden gem. So, besides the graphics, which will get improved, I think the only issue these guys might have is just the barrier to entry. A lot of people, especially younger audiences, apologies to the younger people, you're about to be slandered, don't have high attention spans. And this is just a fact. There's data on this. It's due to things like Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, just the internet in general. It makes people's attention spans a lot lower, and if they don't understand something, especially in the gaming market and especially in the shooter market, they will just abandon it and go and play something else, because there's so many free options on the market these days. This could maybe be fixed from like a initial first match against bots or something, that is a much slower pace, brings you up to speed with the game, gives you tips and hints and prompts and tutorials as you go, so that when you jump into your first game against real players, you understand what's going on. How they are teaching people right now is basically, there's a dev on every single team when we do the playtests, and they will explain as you go, and it's very much required. Otherwise, you can't just load up the game, pick it up, and instantly know what you're doing. So that is just the only bit of concern I would give, is just the barrier to entry, and making sure people know exactly what they are playing is something that needs to be worked on. But overall, it was a very fun experience. I like the range of weapons. The sandbox is very good. The vehicles, quite primitive, need a bit of work. It was very difficult to control. And the controller support isn't there yet. But again, hopefully in the future they just improve that kind of stuff. But the concept, really, really cool. It's different. It's not just copy and paste extraction shooter where dead players give you loot. You carry that loot into the next game if you survive. 1 life, if you die you're out. Blah blah blah. It's not copy and paste extraction shooter. They've actually tried to innovate, which I will compliment. It's always good. And I think that this especially is going to be, if they're not already with a publisher or investor, it's going to be like prime target, prime candidate for a game that would get some kind of funding, because it's such like an original idea, while taking concepts from other games. Like the teams of 3 and the way the shields work is exactly like Apex, which is obviously a very popular battle royale. But then you've got the extraction element, which is obviously influenced by games such as Tarkov, or now even Dr. Disrespect's Dead Drop and other games. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The game is called Ascendant. Just put Ascendant game into Google and they will come up, along with a bunch of videos from other creators that you can watch. And that's it. This is my view as a game developer, and also my view as a content creator. Looks promising, and I'm excited to see what they do in the months to come. I will play again at some point and see how they've progressed. So yeah, thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next video. And before you go, just a quick notice about my game. On August 4th and 5th, we are doing a playtest, except it's open to everyone. So if you have Steam, you can jump on and play our game with us. It's a third-person arena shooter, inspired by games such as Halo, Quake, Unreal Tournament, stuff like that. And yeah, if you want to come and play with us, just enlist in the playtest on Steam. Make sure to wishlist too, and we'll see you there. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.